Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're learning JavaScript, you're in the right place. Today we're going to be diving into two powerful tools that control how loops work. Those are break and continue. And by the end of the video, you'll know how to stop a loop early or skip parts of it, which makes your code cleaner and faster. Now, first I want you to imagine you're looping through a list of numbers and you're only interested in finding the first even number. Normally you go through every single item, but what if you could stop the loop once you found exactly what you need? That's where break comes in. And I have an example to show that. Here we have this example of an array of numbers. And we'll loop through the numbers with a for loop. And if the number is even, we're going to console.log found an even number. And then we're going to stop continuing down the path of the rest of the numbers in the array. And so we can actually see that in action. If we run this in the terminal, and you'll see found an even number 6. So you'll see here that we'll start the loop with 1, then we'll go to 3, 5, and then once we hit the first number 6, we're going to get out of the loop and stop everything from running. And so that is the power of the break statement. And this can, save time. You can think of it as saving time, especially if you're using like a large data set of information. This could, cut the time down in your entire programming. Now, the next one I want to cover is the continue. And continue is used when you want to skip the current loop step and move on to the next one. In this example that we have here, when the loop hits an even number like 2 or 4 in this array, so same concept, it's going to skip console.log and then just jump to the next iteration. So this could be, super useful when you want to ignore certain values as you go through a loop. And so we'll see this in action. And you will see it here that we have an array of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but only odd numbers 1, 3, and 5 are appearing in the console. Now, as a last example, I want to give you something more practical. And let's say we want to check usernames, and we're checking usernames, but we want to skip usernames that are empty, or and stop if we hit admin. And empty strings here in this array, for example, could be data that's deleted or data that's incomplete. So that's the example of the empty string. And then admin, we want to find the admin piece. So we have this example here. We have an array of usernames. We have a for loop. And as we go through, we're saying if the username is blank, we want to skip over it. And if the username is admin, we want to console.log admin found and stopping the check. And then we're going to break, which essentially ends this process of the loop. And then if all else fails, we have console.log checking user and that username as the option. Now we can actually see that. So if we go to node in the terminal, we can say node sandbox3, and we'll see that here. So we see at the start, checking user John. John is not an empty string, so we want to console.log it. Next, we have the empty string. We are going to skip over that because it's empty. So that's why you see continue here. Then we have Alice, and you'll see checking user Alice. And then finally, we have admin. So admin found, stopping check, and you'll notice that we don't ever get to Bob in our array. So like I mentioned, this is great for saving that time. And that's it. Be sure to use break when you want to exit the loop early. Continue if you want to skip the loop step and move on. Essentially use break when you found what you need, and use continue when you want to skip something and keep going. That's it for today. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.